When my world is not okay, when there's roadblocks in my way, when I feel so all alone, these words will bring me home. Let love lead the way. Let love lead the way. Oh, let love lead the way. Let love lead the way.
When we can't see eye to eye, no matter how we try, we can find our harmony if you sing along with me.
Let love lead the way. Let love lead the way. Oh, let love lead the way. Let love lead the way. In everything, love will be the gift I bring, to give and to receive, straight from the heart. Let love lead the way. Let love lead the way. Oh, let love lead the way. Let love lead the way.
Each morning when I wake, there's a choice that I can make. In everything I do or say, I'll let love lead the way.
Let love lead the way. Let love lead the way. Oh, let love lead the way. 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 Oh, let love lead the way. 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 Oh, let love lead the way. Let love lead the way.
Good morning. Welcome. Happy Mother's Day. For those of you who are here in person and those of you who are joining us online, I welcome you on behalf of the Unity Center of North Spokane. My name is Dana Zahler. So we will begin our time together by starting with our opening affirmation, which is, together, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good. So what we teach is really that God is a verb, right? God is not an entity, not a man up in the sky with a long flowing beard. This is the animating force of all of life, this presence of God, always present. All right, our power for this month, the month of May, the power is power, the power of power. So we believe that we have the power to create our world. We create our experience by our beliefs and how we live those beliefs. So we're going to start today. Michael Ward is going to read the daily word for us. Welcome, Michael.
So the topic is mother's love. The tenderness of mother's love shows me the presence of God on earth. Love is a life-giving force, a tremendous power that binds all people in God. It is through this love we are all members of one family. A mother and all those who selflessly share motherly love give warmth and depth to the free-flowing love of God. There is something so pure, so warm and comforting about a mother's love. This is the love that encourages me when I doubt myself, that accepts me when the world feels cold, and that celebrates my successes and helps me shine. No matter how mother's love comes into my life, I recognize and give thanks for its divine source. As the motherly love I have felt throughout my life has blessed me, I pray those who have loved me so tenderly and fiercely know the love of God as they have shared it so generously. Quoting from Proverbs 31:29, many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all.
Beautiful. Thank you, Michael. All right, so I am going to invite you to stand and greet your neighbor, please.
Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
I'm getting people to be able to do it. I'm sure there's some universal importance to that. I'm not sure what power. I have no idea, but. Oh, that's fine. And I forgot. Oh, maybe it was the one. Oh, shit. It was fine.
So tell me your talk title again.
Mother Nature, the
Being
divine.
scrutinized.
Oh my gosh, I don't, it's
Say it again, the mothering
the
nature.
mother in nature, spirit of the divine in us. Spirit of the mother nature.
I thought it was about the divine feminine.
Mother spirit.
Mothering spirit, nurturing the divine. Oh, that's beautiful. I'll use that. So as you return to your seats, please remain standing, for we are going to sing.
Yes. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul arising to a higher place. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul arising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul arising to a higher place. No more forward, no more backward, no more spinning around and around. My life is moving ever upward. My feet are leaving the ground. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul arising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul arising to a higher place. No more downward, no more darkness, no more wondering the point of it all. My life is destined, oh, for greatness. My soul has answered the call. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, up, up
Thank you, Daniel Namad, my favorite. All right, today our talk title is The Mothering Spirit, Nurturing the Divine Within. Thank you, Jeff, for reminding me of that. Welcome up here.
Good morning, everyone. I feel like I've been gone for weeks. I don't know why. It feels, I'm a little disoriented a bit this morning, like, am I back? Anyways, if we'll take our time, we're going to go into meditation. And being today Mother's Day, I want us to take time during our meditation to think about those in your life who have mothered you. Let's take it all together, a deep breath, and exhale. The purpose of this is to center ourselves together. Again, another breath. And exhale. Think back in your life of those that have been a mothering spirit to you, a nurturer, an encourager, a supporter. An advocate. A cheerleader. The loving presence that has supported you. Think of that person or persons in your life. Maybe there's someone in your life that you viewed or had an expectation that they should be that mothering influence. But for whatever reason, they lost their way. They couldn't. Let us in this time offer grace, forgiveness, seeing them as divine.
thank you for the design, your fingerprint that is imprinted in all of us. We thank you for those that have been called to be the nurturers, supporters. We give thanks and gratitude. Thank you for the opportunities that you give each one of us to be that to another. The opportunity and the challenge. But most of all, the honor. Father, I thank you for each family that is represented here and the generations of mothers. And we thank you in advance for the opportunities that we have to mother one another. Our affirmation today is that I rest in the nurturing presence of divine love, ever birthing peace, joy, and wholeness in me. Together we agree as we say, and so it is. Amen. Good morning. Welcome. Happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you. I know I've been called mother a couple of times in my life. Hasn't always been in the most pleasant of terms. But I do recognize that there is an imprint of God in each one of us, in each created being, that imprints that nurturing desire to protect and imprint that. You know, we see these videos and pictures of animals, right? There's one that came to my mind of the bird in the rain, and it's got its wings up, and it's protecting its loved ones from the rain underneath the wings. It's something that is imprinted in our DNA. And only a divine, omnipotent being could think of such a thing. In the Proverbs, it says, "Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. Her children rise up and call her happy, her husband too, and he praises her." Today, we celebrate and we honor the many expressions of motherhood. Our hearts are expanded with the love and the honor of the moms and the people in our lives that have served in that role. We bless the mothers who brought us into the world and those who raised us, whether by birth, adoption, or a sacred choice. We honor grandmothers and great-grandmothers and aunts and godmothers, stepmothers, and spiritual mothers. And we hold space and compassion for those who feel a loss on this day. Those grieving a mother, a child, a pet, grieving a dream of motherhood, unfulfilled. We also hold and love those with complicated relationships, knowing that divine healing is always unfolding. In Unity, we teach that love is not bound by form. It is divine in every expression. The energy of mothering is not a gender role. It is a sacred capacity that lives in all of us. The Christ consciousness is both male and female. It is both nurturer, safety, comforter, and provider. See those pictures of my mom up there. Talk about her in a little bit here. Catch up. There are, the metaphysical meaning of mother is when we speak of a mother in metaphysical sense, we are speaking of a divine capacity to nurture, to give birth, and to hold with love. Charles Fillmore wrote that the soul, the receptive aspect of our being, is the mothering side of spirit. It is within the soul that divine ideas are received and formed. We each carry that creative potential. Just as Mary carried the Christ child, we carry the Christ consciousness, the divine spark waiting to be born into the world and through us. Now, there are divine feminine expressions in many of the traditions. In Christianity, through Mary. In Unity and New Thought teachings, Mary is seen as more than a historical person. She is a metaphysical symbol of the soul's openness to divine inspiration. Openness because when she was approached by the Spirit, her response wasn't no, it was acceptance. She accepted the responsibility. Mary represents divine feminine, the receptive, intuitive, nurturing aspect of consciousness. Her willing to let it be reflects our capacity to surrender to divine guidance and birth new spiritual understanding. Just as Mary gave birth to Jesus, we too are called to give birth to the Christ consciousness. In Buddhism, there is a key, Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. Like Mother Mary in Christianity, Kuan Yin is seen as a spiritual mother figure, one of whom people pray at times of grief, illness, or despair. Her compassion is said to transcend religion, offering comfort to all, regardless of their faith. In Unity and New Thought terms, Kuan Yin represents the Christ nature of compassionate presence, the aspect of the divine within us that hears, heals, and sees. She is the intuitive heart of God, the divine response to suffering, reminding us that love listens deeply and acts wisely. In Hinduism, there is Durga. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. There's actually a couple, Durga and Lakshmi. They are protectors and providers. Durga lives not just in the heavens, but in every heart that chooses love over fear and service itself. In unity, we speak of God as principle and the divine feminine as the active, creative force of spirit. What Charles Fillmore called the soul's intuitive and nurturing nature. Durga's many arms show us that love expresses in many ways, meeting us wherever we are on our spiritual journey. Now, I would say that there's a lot of us, or I should say a lot of moms out there who would recognize they've lived their lives with a lot of arms, holding a lot of titles, labels, responsibilities. I know that there are times when you have a lot of stuff to carry and a lot going on. In this case, each arm holding a sacred object symbolizes a spiritual faculty available to us. The sword reminds us of our ability to cut through illusion with the power of truth. The lotus symbolizes our spiritual awakening, purity rising from the mud of life's challenges. The trident reflects our mastery over mind, body, and spirit, aligning all aspects with divine order. And the open hand offers reassurance. Fear not, I am with you always. Durga, like the Christ spirit within, is a champion of inner strength, here to remind us that even when we feel weary or overwhelmed, there is a wellspring of power, wisdom, and compassion within us, ready to rise, ready to heal, and ready to act. And this is Lakshmi, provider. And the prayers for Lakshmi is about abundance, about providing. And there are many in Hindu, when they pray to Lakshmi, it's usually about an abundance of something. So I wanted to just give you some reflections of my own mother. As many of you know, my mom died when I was 18. She was a young 49 years old. But I have very, very, very fond memories of my mom. She was a nurturer. After school, when I'd come home, there'd be a counter full of baked goods, cookies, cakes, pies. There was always something laying out on the cool tile with a real thin material that stuff would be cooling on. And it didn't take long in my life for my buddies to always want to come home with me because I knew my mom had always had something. She was always cooking something. She made a lot of my sister's clothes, but she also has the wisdom not to make mine. She was supportive. She was a force in the Parent Teachers Association and a classroom mom. Everybody loved being in my class or my sister's class because they knew that my mom was going to spoil us with something. Growing up playing baseball, she was a scorekeeper. And my mom had a very identifying voice. In fact, when we would be in church and Amazing Grace, that's the time for me to go find the bathroom because my mom couldn't hold a tone to save her life. And she would sing as loudly and as proudly as she could. And being there as a child and seeing everybody kind of looking over their shoulder was a little embarrassing. But I look back now on that and her joy. And she didn't care. Because she was singing, giving her best to God in her way. She also protected. While I was preparing this, I was reminded of a time when we used to play baseball out in the street. And on my street, good grief, We had a Catholic family, so they had a lot of kids, and we had a Jehovah's Witnesses family, so they had a lot of kids. So our street was full. We played baseball games. It was, it was a full load. And one of the older boys bullied me one day, and I ran in crying. And my mom went out looking for that boy and confronted him. She was pretty upset. But she was a protection. My mom also had a way of she was petite. So she was kind of tall, like, 5'9" for a woman, and she was very skinny, very petite. And in one of those times after school, when my buddies would come for treats, I knew what she was doing, but they didn't, and I didn't tell them. So she comes out with a phone book, and she says, "How many of you think I could rip a phone book in half?" And they're like, "Oh, there's no way." And she's like, "I'm telling you, put $1 on the table. I will bet you I can rip this phone book in half." Oh, that's an easy, and they put dollars down. And then my mom proceeded, because in their mind, they're thinking she's going to grab the phone book and do this, right? Nope. My mom ripped that phone book in half. She grabbed it, and by page, bending it backwards and forwards, it took her about 10 minutes. But she ripped that phone book in half. And that was the last time that she did that trick several times, but that was the last time she collected off of my buddies. Great memories. I want to offer you an opportunity to share a memory. So is anyone here? Where's our microphone, Dan? Would you be the... So if you have a favorite memory of your mom, I invite you to offer. Would you mind just standing and sharing something? Maybe a special memory of your mom, or someone who was a mother to you in spirit. Maybe someone who saw something in you. Come on now, don't be afraid. Wendy?
Well, I remember a lot of things about my mother that's just endearing, but when you brought up that fact about your mom and her singing, as my mom got older, her hearing got less and less. And as her hearing got less and less, she got louder and louder when she was singing. And she couldn't really stay with the music because she couldn't hear the music because everybody was singing. But to me, that was just such an endearing thing to hear my mother sing in church, even though it was off key, it was loud, but it was my mother, and I remember that as a very, very emotional time for me. Thanks.
Thank you.
My mother taught me that when anything bad happens, look for the good, because there's always good comes out of bad things.
Good morning. Fortunately for me, my mother's still here, and I love her very much. When I was young, we had a last day of school one time. My mom says, "Well, what do you want for last day of school?" And I said, "Hey, let's have banana splits." She said, "Okay." So she made us banana splits, and we made it a family tradition. And to this day, the kids in my family come to my mom's house for banana splits at the last day of school, and that's one of the fond memories I have of my mother.
When's the last day of school this year?
So Juanita, who is Wendy and Patty's mom, is pictured up here, and she was a mom to many of us, really. But I think her legacy, we called her the Poet Laureate of Unity, and so she blessed us with many, many, many beautiful poems, all kind of depicting the positive Christianity. And also, she was one of the founding members of kids, what we called Kids at Heart, right? The seniors, gathering that would get together on Wednesdays, I think, and do just a lot of fun things. They were full of life. Yeah.
Well, my mother raised myself and my brother as a single mom, and she was wonderful, always there, always present. And of course, some of you knew my mom. She was my accompanist for years and years, so we were musical partners, friends, and mother-daughter, and we did a lot together. And she had such a sense of humor, if I may just share one thing. When we'd go out for a meal, and it comes time to maybe, take out, get a box or whatever, the waiter or waitress would come up and ask, "Do you want a box?" And my mother said, "No, but I'll take a container for my food." Get it? So she was like that. And we went on a trip on the West Coast, and we were on the Clipper for part of that, and we were in the Seattle hotel for a while before we got our flight out. And she wanted to do something that, and I think this speaks to everybody because anybody can do this. She wanted to pretend like we were part of different conversations and parties. And so there was a gentleman on the Clipper that she said, "Well, let me take my drink up and start a conversation with him, and you take a picture." So she did. And this guy's laughing, and then I'll cut to the chase. And then once we got back to Spokane, our little vacation wasn't over. We went to Shenanigans. Remember the restaurant, Shenanigans? And there was a big party of people having a nice big whatever. So we went and sat at their table and acted like we asked, "Do you mind if we sit here?" And we acted like we were part of the party. And it was. And then finally, she wanted a picture with all the chefs. So we did that at Shenanigans. But I guess the moral to the story is just take in life. And if something seems too stupid or too, "Oh no, I'm not going to do that," do it.
I won't use the microphone because I have a little bit of a cold. My mom, we were so fortunate we had her till she was 97 years old. And my father died relatively young, so we had a lot of good years with her. And like Nikki was saying, she instilled such a love of music. She had a lovely voice. She was a singer. She didn't necessarily do it professionally, actually, until she was probably in her 70s. She and my sister started a music group, a gospel music group, and they toured around a little bit and sang and did some recording. And I'm glad she got to live out that dream because I think she spent a great deal of her early years being a mom and being a wife and doing the things that women do. So in her 70s, she was able to actualize her own, abilities more. But the funny thing, and I have tons of stories that are funny. My mom had a good sense of humor, but the funny thing was the older she got, the funnier she got. And I think it's because she threw a lot more caution to the wind. Because in her time coming through, she came through kind of a hard, a little bit of a hard childhood. She was one of 5 daughters, born to both my grandparents were deaf. And she was the first, so she was their link to the world, the speaking world. And so she had to kind of take on the role of being the leader. And it was interesting. I think it colored her life. There was a lot of, back then, still ridicule about they thought you were deaf and dumb. Well, what they meant was you couldn't speak, but people would make fun of them. And so she came up through a lot of the shame and the embarrassment and stuff. So I think she lived her life as a woman coming through the 1940s, 50s, kind of living out the cultural expectations of women of that time. So I think after my dad passed and after she came more into her own, she dared to say more than she ever did. She was funny, she was bold in ways that I wasn't, and I'm like, oh my You know, and so, but now, being closer in those years, you know, getting older myself, I go, yeah, I see why, you know, but I remember one thing, and this is because I've had a lot of recent losses. When she started getting into her 90s, I said, Mom, how do you deal with all the loss? Because you start to lose your friends, your partners, sometimes you lose children. And she said, well, she said, you honor it, you respect it, you grieve. She said, but you're still here. You're still here, and she would always say, we are here to live what is ours to live and to love. And she was a very avid Christian. She was a woman of faith most of her life. And she said, we are here to love each other. And so I carry that, you know, but I liked, and so even though we grieve, she goes, you're still here, you gotta go on. And that's just something that kind of rings in my head, and I'm grateful for that.
That's beautiful,
So, thank
Sandra.
you.
Anyone? One last, time for one last one?
I was fortunate enough to grow up with a mom like you had, who was a fabulous seamstress. She could make anything, and she made our school clothes, and she cut our hair. Now, growing up in farm country, the good thing was I was actually able to go to work at age 10, and proud as heck to be able to walk to town to buy my own school clothes so I could have store-bought clothes and get a real haircut, because she only had one haircut, that was a butch, you know. But she was really good at that kind of stuff. The other thing she did was she baked all the time. And you reminded me of that when you talked about the baked goods. But she did something different. You know, in farm country, you don't bake a loaf of bread. You don't bake a tray of dinner rolls, and you don't bake a pie. So when she started baking bread, us 4 kids would sit down at the table with our jelly, peanut butter, and our jam, waiting for the first tray of rolls to come out of the oven, because that was ours. And we got that. And the other great thing was, and I haven't found another buddy that's ever said their mother ever did this, there were 4 of us kids, so she'd bake 4 pies, 1 for each of us. And that was our pie. We could eat it in one setting, or we could eat it in 6 or 8, but you never touched your sibling's pie. That was a no-no. So, yeah, they'd all be the same pie. But I haven't found anybody else who had a mother who did stuff like that. So you can see why I'm still enjoying some of those things that my mother gave us.
That's great. Thank you, Dwayne. Wayne, one more.
I guess I'm game enough for this. My mother, of course, when I was younger, was part of the mothers at night.
Closer to the mic.
Okay. What am I looking for?
The microphone, we can't hear you.
Okay. And I thought my voice was loud. Anyway, during one session, they set out they were going to make a award for one of the women in the family for the children. And she volunteered to do that, only to find out that she was the recipient of it at the end. So, but she was always there to take us where we had to go, you know, as a small group to after sports or whatever, but she was always there doing it.
There are many that have, and I'm sure you all have more stories, not just about your mom, but also others that participated or served as a motherly influence in your life. Maybe it was a teacher, a friend, a nurse, a neighbor, or maybe it was a stranger. Sometimes Spirit sends us earth angels to wrap us in warmth, to whisper words of encouragement, to steady us when we feel like giving up. And on the flip side of all this is an equally important question, and that is, who have you mothered? Who have you loved into healing? Who have you sat beside in silence, letting your presence be their peace? Oops, did I skip ahead? Oh, there we go. Myrtle Fillmore said, and as you know, Myrtle's beginnings were ordinary, just as a casual viewer, but she was a mystical little girl who grew up to become the co-founder of a worldwide spiritual movement that influences people to this day. She was often referred to as the heart of unity, and who was known for her firm but compassionate healing letters to people throughout the world who requested prayer. If you haven't checked on Unity Worldwide Ministries at their website, but they have taken, and they are in the process of taking all of her letters and her writings and publishing it so you could actually go on and see the original letters that she wrote. And in part of the studies that I've been doing, a lot of the makeup of who Myrtle was and what she's done is all taken from those writings. But some of the things she said is we must teach people to hold themselves as sacred and to mother their own souls with truth, tenderness, and trust. She also said the true mother is the one who gives birth not only to her children, but also to their highest potential. And another one, mothering is not just about giving birth, but about nurturing, guiding, and supporting a child to become their best self. In a way, Myrtle became a divine mother to thousands of members in the Unity community with her letters, writings, encouragement, compassion, and wisdom. There is a well-known African proverb that says, "It takes a village to raise a child." This proverb emphasizes that the responsibility of raising and nurturing a child do not rest solely on the parents. It involves an entire community of elders, of neighbors, of teachers, and extended family. All play vital roles in the emotional, moral, and physical development of a child. Each of us is called to awaken the inner mother, the sacred nurturer within. We are invited to mother our own lives with patience, forgiveness, and deep care. And mothering our own lives is showing ourselves that compassion, that love, that kindness, patience. We are invited to birth peace into a hurting world, to cradle compassion, and to midwife love. We are each called to birth something new, ideas, compassion, and healing. This is a divine assignment we carry, not just today, but every day, to be expressions of comfort in chaos, to be gentle in a world that can be harsh, to feed what is good and true and beautiful wherever we are, to practice spiritual mothering through prayer, forgiveness, and speaking truth, and to affirm our creative power to comfort, uplift, nourish, and guide. Let our affirmation today, if you'll all say this affirmation with me: I am a living expression of the mothering Spirit of God. I nurture, I bless, and I love. As we go forth from here today, I invite you to live in the vibration of mothering, Speak a kind word, often a listening word, and a listening ear. Plant a seed of hope. Hold someone, maybe even yourself, in the cradle of compassion. You are the divine presence of love in expression. Happy Mother's Day. Stay curious and be the blessing.
I am a child of this universe. The ocean dances at my feet. The wind plays a melody through my hair. I am loved at every turn. I am kissed by Mother Earth.
I am a child of this universe. The sun warms me in its embrace. The stars have aligned for me in the sky. I am honored by all life. I am held by Father Time.
Every blade of grass, every shaking leaf on a tree, every mountain top sings of the glory of God moving through me. I am a child of this universe. Through my breath, all of life can breathe. I plant the seeds with my every dream. I can love at every turn. Give a kiss to Mother Earth.
I am a child of this universe. I greet the God in each face. I am a channel for peace to flow. Oh, I honor all of life. Yes, I'm one with Father Time. To every blade of grass, to every shaking leaf on a tree, to every mountain top, I sing of the glory of God moving through all, moving as me, moving as you, moving
Indeed, moving. Lovely, lovely. Faith Rivera. All right, let us just consider our gifts to this ministry and open your hand as though you are holding those gifts. Just see yourself as a blessing to this ministry. See those gifts that you have given or are giving going forth to bless many others. Giving with intention creates an energetic flow through your mind and your heart, creating more abundance for both the recipient and the giver. So thank you. Thank you, Doug. All right, so I invite you all to share with me in blessing these gifts together. Divine love in, through, and as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you. All right, let's share in unity statement for peace together. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, the many ways to worship God. For there is one power and presence of God, and that God loves each one of us equally. It is therefore the position of unity to urge all nations, their leaders, and their people to turn to God by whatever the name for guidance during these challenging times and to pursue peace, for this is what honors the God of all our faith traditions. All right, some announcements today. Sacred Support Circle is today, right? 2 to 4 p.m. And we're asking people to bring a dish to share. They might play some games, have some conversation, just be in support of each other. So everyone's welcome. Course in Miracles, a couple of times a week in person at South Hill on Tuesday evenings and on Zoom Thursdays. So you need to send an email to Jeff at that email up there if you're interested in getting the Zoom link. So.
This is the intro for 3 weeks.
Oh, this is a new one. 3 Wednesdays. They're going to be a new introduction for those who are not familiar with the Course in Miracles. And that's at the South Hill Church, right?
No, that's here. So,
Oh, it's here.
yeah, let me just share about that. So, many people have asked about the Course in Miracles, started it, aren't familiar with it. So I thought what I would do is offer a 3-week kind of an introductory. And we'll just talk about like kind of a 10,000 foot level of what the course, some of the terms and definitions of how you see the course. The course is very radical for people who have grown up in a very traditional view of Christianity, because it gives you a different way of looking at what is judgment, what is love, what is forgiveness, what is salvation. And when you start to see it from that perspective, it really shifts the way that you see God and the way you see Scripture and all of that. So for 3 weeks, we'll be diving into that after meditation on Wednesdays from 7. So meditation 6 to 7, and then 7 to 8, we'll just be doing a really high intro into the course, with the idea that if it's something that you want to pursue, you have Tuesdays in person or Thursdays in Zoom. So obviously we're making a lot of emphasis on the course because a lot of people have asked about it, but have been interested in it, have started it at one time. I started it 2 to 3 years ago and put it down, couldn't get through it, only to pick it back up and just be totally engaged in it. So that's what the Wednesdays will be for, and then I'll probably be offering this every 2 or 3 months as people come along and are interested.
Great idea.
Yeah.
So we also do the meditations at 6. So if you want to come do the intro to the course, you're welcome to come at 6 and be present for the meditation as well. So are you going to tell the story about how it came about? Helen Schuchman and...
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's a great, awesome, very, very, very interesting story of how the course came about. Okay, so yeah, Wednesday meditations by myself or by Jeff. That's it? All right. All right, we are going to sing the peace song, but today is birthday Sunday.
Yeah.
So we will first sing happy birthday. Let's get in a circle and anybody have a birthday?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you're wonderful. Happy birthday to you. Whose birthdays? Uh-oh. Is it Patty? Is it Patty's birthday? Oh. Oh, nice. Oh, Emma. Woohoo. All right. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and that's the truth.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they may see. There will be an answer, let it be.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. There's still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be.
Wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it